Breaking tonight, House Republicans have voted to formally begin an impeachment inquiry into President Joe Biden. I said this last night. I think this is a big deal. Impeachment's a big deal. The vote passing after previously skeptical moderate Republicans got on board. Last night, I went through all of the evidence gathered so far, and I said that while I do think that President Biden was not honest when he said that he never talked to Hunter about any of his businesses, I also concluded that none of the evidence presented by Chairman Comer thus far has shown any wrongdoing or illegality by Joe Biden. So what led the moderates to join with their colleagues to formalize this impeachment process? Let's ask Republican Congressman Dave Joyce of Ohio. He's the chair of the center-right Republican Governance Group. Congressman, welcome to the show. Thanks very much for taking the time. Appreciate it. So you were initially reluctant on this inquiry. What swayed you?
Well, Dan, thanks for having me. I think it was important. I was a prosecutor for 25 years before I got here. And as a prosecutor, normally when you would do your investigations in front of a grand jury, where it's quiet, no one will know that you've been investigating anybody named Biden. Obviously, in this case, I think we went to the other extreme, and we've made a lot of allegations on Biden, the president, and the Biden family. And I think it's the fact that they were going with a volley back and forth of information, the fact that the White House sent back something saying they needed to formalize to turn over the documents. I think it's important that we give them that opportunity so they have the authority to get the documents, and we can get to the bottom of this once and for all. I think it's good for the American people and the Biden family to come up through and come clean with what's going on.
Is that really true that the Biden team is saying we will only turn this over if you formalize and begin an impeachment inquiry? I find that hard to believe that was their response.
That was a letter that was sent back necessarily by the Biden, but White House counsel, that this had not been formalized. And that's one of the things that swayed me on it. If you're talking about a technicality, I mean, myself, if somebody's making allegations against me like this, I'd say, hey, read them and weep. Here are my records. But if they want to play the game and go through the process, then obviously we need to go through the process. But at the end of the day, this isn't an impeachment. This is just the inquiry. It's no different than asking for a subpoena.
But except that it does seem to me impeachment's a bigger deal. No? I mean, do you think it's unfair for me to say, boy, impeachment's a really big statement. It's a big investigation. It's not just like a sort of like, well, let's see what's out there. When you're talking about impeaching the President of the United States, I would think you need some credible evidence to start. And it feels to me like thus far there is nothing credible linking Joe Biden to illegality or wrongdoing.
I wholeheartedly agree with you. I mean, I think that the evidence needs to be produced, that people can make that determination in whether it's there or whether it's not. And again, allegations are everywhere, but facts are stubborn things. And we need to get to the facts to figure out where they're at. And at the end of the day, I'm sure they're going to continue down this road. The other point that you bring up that I think is very important is that impeachment's abused. The process has been abused. It's meant to take out mentally deficient folks, somebody who's lost their mind while they're in office, or somebody who's a Santos-like, where they're committing crimes while they're in office. And I don't see that yet. But the opportunity for the operative committees to gather the information and present it in an orderly fashion so people can make rational decisions is what I base my decision on.
And as a former prosecutor, what exactly is the high crime or misdemeanor that's being investigated?
Well, that's a good point, and I haven't seen any of that today, but I'm looking forward to the investigative committees saying, I have 3 different committees that are all focused on this. Okay, put up or shut up. You either have the evidence or you don't.
But if they don't even know what the potential crime is, what are they investigating, right?
Well, some allegations are that he abused his office when he was potentially the vice president, or abused his position during that time to help his son's further his son's business dealings. But the fact that he might have a son who has issues with drugs and alcohol and had some business issues doesn't make it an impeachable offense. But if in fact it was related to working the vice president's office to create the appearance that he was part and parcel of their business dealings, that'd be a little bit different. But again, none of that's been established, and I think it's important that we have the facts so we can establish what was and what wasn't done.
All right. Well, look, I was watching you very closely. I think folks like you are critical in Congress. I always talk about the marginalized moderate majority in this country who are political moderates on both sides. That's the people we appeal to. You represent them, so what you say matters a lot, which is why I wanted to have a little bit of this back and forth on this topic. Congressman Joyce, thanks so much for coming on. Appreciate it.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.